Well, good morning, and thank you all for being here today. This is our emergency press conference to talk about gun violence in our city. We know the weather is going to get warmer. We know that our gun violence is going to increase. In my district, about on 23rd and Washington, there was a shooting, and someone actually passed away. Another person has been injured. And I think it's time that City Council, and I want to apologize first. I want to say sorry. And I'm saying sorry not for any excuses or anything, but City Council, I feel like, has not fought hard enough. We have not done enough. We have not been consistent enough and boldly enough around this issue of gun violence, right? I know we have deployed some initiatives. We have CPSI here that was through City Council. However, we have not fought for it to be a permanent thing, and I'm going to talk about a few of those things. So I want to begin with something many elected officials struggle to say, which is I'm sorry again to the families who are grieving, to the neighbors who are scared to let their children play outside, to the youth who feel like survival is their only option. I apologize on behalf of City Council that has not fought hard enough or boldly enough to end gun violence in our city. We held too many moments of silence, but not enough system accountability. We've seen this violence coming. We buried our sons, our brothers, and our friends, and still we are here today mourning another life lost. This is not just violence. This is a policy failure. This is political neglect. This is a public health crisis, and it has been for years. And I do want to talk about what we did invest in. So the Community Partner Support Initiative, CPSI, is a lifeline of street outreach workers, community healers, trauma responders, funded through ARPA. And it was created to give community members the resources to intervene where police cannot. But now that funding is running out with no permanent commitment from this administration to sustain it. We just ended a budget session, and in that budget session, there was no funding to expand our gun violence program. And that disheartened me. That was one of the reasons why I voted no to the budget. How can we not listen to the cries of our community and not have it in our budget? When you look at a budget, you see what your government cares about. While our streets are bleeding, dollars are drying up, and that is unacceptable. And I called to the administration, to Mayor Carney. He has toured our neighborhoods. He has did 2nd District walks with me. He's shaken all of our hands at our events. He said he cared about gun violence, but I actually need him to show it. Where is the long-term investment? Where is the policy commitment that treats our lives like they matter? Because I tell you what we don't need. For this, we don't need more police on every corner. We don't need more surveillance. We don't need more criminalization of our boys just trying to survive. What we need is care. What we need is community. What we need is courage. Gun violence is a symptom of something deeper. It's systemic. It is historical. It is the result of poverty, disinvestment, trauma, instructional racism. It is what happened when Black boys are treated like threats before they're ever treated like children. And let's be real about the data. Wilmington has one of the highest rates of gun violence per capita for cities its size. Black men under 35 account for the overwhelming majority of both victims and perpetrators, not because of who they are, but because of what systems have failed them. More than half the shootings in our city are tied to conflict that could have been prevented with early intervention and support. That is why today I'm calling on this administration, this council, and this city to codify and fully fund a permanent Office of Violence Prevention. Not as a pilot, not as a project, but as a permanent pillar of public health infrastructure in Wilmington. So this isn't a public safety, this is a public health crisis. We need to deploy a community response team. Trained, paid, and resourced to do de-escalation, conflict, respond to trauma, and stop violence before it happens. So my office is right on Concord Ave, close to the area where the shooting occurred in my district. And for the last few days, I have not seen any crisis teams respond to the community, to give them assistance, resources, nothing. It's like another shooting happened, another body died, and then nothing happened afterwards. Recently, I had went to the city of Baltimore for another project with Councilmember Tish called Buy the Block Back Project. And one of the things in conversation with another council person, they talked about how when there's a gun shooting, they deploy a team of people to that area to be able to provide services. We should be deploying grief groups to work with families. We should be deploying social workers, case management. We should be doing those things. Our city did absolutely nothing. That block is empty, quiet, and I saw on Facebook, I saw the young man on the ground and his brother yelling out to him. That is trauma that we all live. And gun violence has been something in our community. I remember the first time I experienced gun violence, I was at Springer Middle School, and one of my friends had passed away to gun violence. And imagine as a child trying to comprehend that someone my age had passed away. And then since then, I became desensitized to it. Oh yeah, what's it called? It got shot. They got shot over here. You become desensitized to it, and it becomes just a normal part of who you are and what you think your community is. Like, all right, people get shot here every day, go to jail, but we need to desensitize from that. And every shooting should matter. And what I want to see from City Council every single time there is a shooting, for us to speak up about it. If we have power, we can do a resolution, we could do a press conference, we could do a press release, we could pass legislation, we can put pressure on the administration, and I'm asking for the community to also be there with us, right? I need you guys. Like, there's no way I can do this by myself and be the voice without the community to be able to say this is what we need. So I'm calling on everybody to treat this as a public health crisis. This is urgent. It should have been in our last budget, but it wasn't. And it's a seriousness that this crisis demands. We don't need more memorials. We need a movement. We don't need more excuses. We don't need another task force. We don't need another study about this. We know what the answers are. We know what we need to do. And it's disheartening that nothing has not happened. And if it did happen, it's always temporary. It's money that we got through ARPA, but no permanent situation. To all the people in the city of Wilmington, I see you, I am with you. I will not stop fighting for you. Let today be the last time we have to come together only in grief. Let this be the start of something different, something real. I am going to have a meeting with the administration tomorrow. I'm going to propose ordinances and resolutions, and I want City Council and I want the administration to look you guys in the face and tell you no, they're not going to fund or codify Office of Violence Prevention. And I want them to look you in the face, City Council and the administration, and I want them to say no to you about a community response team. And I'm going to put these things out hopefully over the next few weeks before our summer break so that these conversations can be had. But I'm going to tell you guys, I need y'all in the room. I need y'all in the room. Sometimes I'm in these internal meetings. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I feel like I'm not being heard. I don't have a lot of support from council people. So sometimes it feels lonely, but I really need the community to come out for this. I'm going to put the resolution and the ordinance up, and I want the administration and City Council to look y'all in the face and make that decision about y'all community and the people dying in your community, and I want that to happen. So I'm going to be proposing that. So I know next I'm going to have a special speaker to me. Her name is Miss Jackie. She'll tell her story, but she is a mother, an activist, someone who has been pained, and who also finds strength in the fact that she has been impacted by gun violence in her family. So I'm going to have her come up and introduce herself and talk about some of the work that she has done in the community.
Good morning. My name is Jackie Kennard, and I didn't bury one son, I buried two, and a stepson. 2007, my 21-year-old son was killed. 2017, day before Mother's Day, my oldest child was killed. Also, my stepson was also killed to these Wilmington streets, and two cousins. We do have a group, we have a podcast, we come on because we need to heal. We don't have enough of that going on in the city. We don't have enough of support in the city. Thank you for trying to do what you were trying to do. We're having all 13 council people come out, and it was shot down. It was shot down. That would have been 2 more deaths that we didn't have to encounter. And we need to do better as a community. When we were coming up, everybody looked out for their children. We don't have that type of thing going on. I was there on 22nd Street when the shots rang out and shot the 9-year-old little girl and the 19-year-old. And the young man laid there dying. All I could do was stand over top of him and say a prayer because I knew he was going. And then I had to help this little girl who's been shot in both legs, and her saying to me, am I going to die like my dad? She just lost her dad in December. Then you got a 19-year-old shot 3 times. Broad daylight, okay? And it's not getting any better. June the 6 kids are out. They're out from school. How are we going to protect our kids? How are we going to protect them? Because moms have to work, fathers have to work, kids don't always listen, they come outside. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because my granddaughter is 15 and my grandson is 12. I don't want them outside. This hurts my heart. I don't want them on the step. Our babies are dying. Our legacy is being wiped out. It is our black and brown children. They slap these juveniles on the wrist and you send them back out here to do more murders. It's sad. It's really sad. I believe if you take a life, then you get life. Because it's not getting better. They come out at 17 or 18 and commit more crimes. You should not be walking down the street, as hot as it been, with black masses over your faces. That should not be happening. It's something that, we did have, the shooting that we had on our block. Shane addressed it. She got shot down. Our congressperson came out the next day to have a private meeting. We just happened to run up on it by accident. People in there that don't even live on our block. None of the community was there. So why are you having a private meeting in our neighborhood where we live? Things need to change. You show up one day, we ain't heard from you since. I'm out there knocking on doors because somebody has to do it. I don't want to do it, but somebody got to do it. And at the same time, standing over 4 kids who died in my neighborhood. I no longer see those kids laying there. I see my children, but I push through because I wish somebody was there for mine. Things need to get better in our community, man. It really do. We need to come out. We need men. Men need boots on the ground. I'm tired of seeing nothing but women out there fighting. Everybody want to show up and sound real good, but when it's time to hit that street, y'all ain't there. You're not there. You got women out there. Where are these men at that want to be in the limelight? That want to stand in front of the camera, but when the camera is gone, we are still there trying to survive. We still trying to survive, and our babies are still dying younger and younger. And that young man had this man stand over top of him and say, oops, wrong dude. Get back in his car and pull off. You done killed this baby. For no reason at all, but he was walking up the street. It was like the 4th of July. It was a nice hot day. It could have been more fatalities because everybody was out with their kids. You got people diving on their kids, throwing them underneath cars, on the lawn, just trying to keep their children safe. It could have been a disaster because they came through their shooting. I'm a gun holder, so I do shoot. I know what a 9mm sound like. I know what the switch sound like, and I know what the 45 sound like. How do you have 3 people coming there shooting with 3 different guns? And we have no resolution. We have no nothing. You want to knock on our doors and ask us what we know, but you got cameras down to the school that you don't check, and you put us in more danger. And y'all go home to your family safe. We have got to do better. Men, I'm calling you. I am challenging you to stand behind us. We need y'all. We really do. We have a group. I have a podcast. Me and my girlfriend, Shawn Flowers, we have a podcast because she also lost her son. And we come on there and we talk about what's going on in the community. We talk about trying to heal, trying to grow. We're grief unspoken, breaking the silence. Breaking the silence because we got to, if you know something, say something. Because we all get a turn. That's what we failed to realize. We all get a turn. You sit back and don't say nothing when you know things are going on in your house that should not be. You know. But then when it's your turn, you want everybody to stand up for you when you did nothing for us. Look, y'all, it's getting ready to get hot. You got more guns on the street than you got boots on the ground. I'm praying that we have a peaceful summer, but for real, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I could lay on my bed nightly and hear shooting. People shoot for no reason at all. You got a park around the corner. You could actually hear it ricocheting from around the park where they out there target practicing. I have yet to hear a police siren. I have yet to hear you get out of your cars and walk the block like you say you're going to. The last meeting we was at, Camp Post, I'm calling you out. The last time we was at the meeting, you said that your officers would get out of the car. You done said this 4 times. They would get out of the car and patrol our neighborhood. It has not happened yet. But you tell me that they sit in the cars because they got to do reports. How many reports do they have to do? And how many more of us got to die while you doing a report? They need to do better. You need to walk our neighborhoods like you promised. You need to deploy the drones like you promised. You said we couldn't get the cameras. You said we can get the drones. Ain't heard nothing from you or Zanthia Oliver. Because it's about time we start putting names to what's not being done. We vote these people into office because we believe in them, and we think that you're going to do the best by us. But you have yet to show us any consideration, any love, any support, any help, any counseling, nothing. I'm angry, I'm hurt, and I'm disappointed. There's no way in the world that Wilmington should be going through all of this. And it's not just hitting one sector, it's all over.
4 blocks long.
It's all over. What about the babies? What about the babies? We shooting babies now? For that little girl to be sitting there shot in both legs by 2 different calibers, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. I'm calling on you men. You ain't got to stand in front of us, just stand behind us. That's all we ask you, because we're really strong. We're really strong, for real, for real. But we do need some support behind us, letting us know that you're backing us up. Because your child might be next. Ain't nobody off limits. Nobody. Thank you.
So up next, I am going to have Dr. Deborah Mason talk about, she is the director, the director of CPSI. So a while ago, a few years ago, City Council went to the city of Newark, New Jersey, and we met with some consultants there to talk about how they were dealing with gun violence. And what came out of that was actually the CPSI program. And at the time, everybody was getting ARPA funds. We decided, the administration decided to use ARPA funds to fund it instead of actually putting it in the budget too, but decided to use the temporary funds to at least get it started. I believe in the work that CPSI is doing. And I know Dr. Deborah Mason can speak more about it, but I know they're limited and restricted because they're only in certain parts of the city of Wilmington. We need to expand this program and put it throughout the whole city of Wilmington. Because right now in my district, I don't have CPSI, which I know they're trying to respond to the whole city. They're trying to do the great work that they can do, but they need more money. They need more people. They need more capacity to be able to do the work that they're doing. So I stand behind City Council and the initiative and the funding that we already do have with CPSI. I stand behind the work that Dr. Deborah Mason is doing throughout the city of Wilmington. We really need preventative measures and works. We need people who are on the streets, who's connecting to the youth, who's connecting to the people who are committing the crimes, who's doing the shootings, the victims, the perpetrators. And I think it's really key and important that we keep these programs in place and don't let it go in vain with the funding that we did put into it, and then let it go, because I think the money is finished probably by the end of this year or maybe 2027. December of this year, the funding will run out. CPSI will cease to be if we do not put money in it in this year. And the budget was already approved because our budget runs from July 1 to May 31st. And there has been no money put in for the Office of Violence Prevention or CPSI, like none, $0 since City Council, we did not fight for it. The mayor administration did not put it in for us to keep CPSI and then to expand it. So I want to bring Dr. Deborah Mason up so she can talk about the program that she has implemented, that she piloted, and some of the great work that she's doing. I believe in the work that she's doing, so I'm going to have her come up and speak about it.
Hi, everyone. I see my team sit down, but I just wanted to let everyone know that my name is Dr. Deborah Mason, and I run the Community Public Safety Initiative, CPSI, and we also oversee the Wilmington Street Team. I am not alone. I don't do this work by myself. I have an amazing team. I have amazing men. I have amazing women who do this work every single day. I can guarantee you that we are out there fighting. We are out there when someone is shot. The one thing that we do pride ourselves on, actually, is that we're not out there wearing bright colors. We're not out there with jackets on, telling everybody who we are. The gentlemen and the ladies who go out there in regular clothes and talk to the community and find out what's going on and provide services when someone is shot. We just took vouchers over to the home of the young lady who was shot, the 9-year-old and their family. We dropped off food vouchers. We meet with the families and ask what they need for funeral arrangements, if they need connected to victim services. We do all this quietly. The one thing I stress to anyone who wants to come and work with us or do events with us is that we are not a photo op. We don't do this for videos. We don't do this for pictures. We do this for the community. We have 2 locations in the city. We all are only in Price's Run and on the east side. We were only funded for those 2 locations of the city. So there are 9 police districts in the city of Wilmington. We're only in 2. We only work in 2 of those districts. We work in District 11 and District 13. The first year we did this program, both of our districts went down in crime. We were the only 2 districts that went down in crime. Are we only responsible for lowering crime? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is a large group of people who work together, who are trying to make a difference. That includes Wilmington PD. That includes City Council. That includes Wilmington Street Team. That includes Churches Take a Corner. That includes the wonderful women who are out here doing this hard work. This is everyone. But the point is, you can't take away one thing and expect everything else not to crumble. It's like a house. It has to be built on a solid foundation. And thank God that Wilmington finally is getting a solid foundation and getting all the working pieces together, and we're seeing a change. We're seeing a change. Yes, we do have shootings. Yes, we still do have violence in our city, but it's decreasing. We are actually going down in crime. We're doing the work. We have 2 locations in the city. We have 2214 North Market Street, and we have another location at 914 North Pine Street. These are called our resource hubs. We provide all types of resources out of these locations. If a person comes to us and they say, we need a shower, guess what we're going to do? We're going to make sure they get a shower. If a person comes to us and say, we need wipes and baby Pampers, or I was just at the hub yesterday and we washed a stroller that someone donated to us for another person down the block for them to have a stroller for their child. We do so many different things. We provide food to the individuals. We provide clothing. Any resources they need connected to, we get them connected to as soon as possible. And we do a lot of this with just simply donations and asking for help. That's all we do. The other important thing about this program is the people who work in this program are from the community. They live in the community. They are part of the community. They know the people who were shot. They know the people who are dying every day from overdoses. We just had a community member we lost last week who it impacted all of us because we had worked with her so diligently to get her the support that she needed, and it just didn't work out the way we would hoped it did. But it impacted all of us. But we did a lot of work with this young lady to get her the help that she needs. So we're out there. We are doing the work. We are out there after shootings. My team shows me photos that they send me. They're saying, we're out here, Dr. Mason. This just happened. Chief Campos will reach out to me and say, hey, there was a shooting in this part of the city. And I'm like, my team's already there. They've been there for hours, talking to the family, finding out what's going on, finding out what we can do next to support them. But we do a lot of this quietly. We don't need accolades. We don't need cameras. We don't need photo ops. We don't need all that. Our goal is to save the city of Wilmington. And I personally think the team of Wilmington Street Team and CPSI has done a wonderful job. Nevertheless, We're only in 2 districts in the city. There are 9. Some are doing relatively well, and they may not need the amount of support that we provide, but they would all benefit from us, every single one. The work that we do consists of the wonderful work from Network Connect, who provides wraparound services to the community. They've been doing this for years. We just tapped into them. And the other organization is Center for Structural Equity. They've also been doing this work for years. We put those 2 organizations together to create Wilmington Street Team. We're not siloed. If we need help, we reach out. We don't care who you are. If you can give it to us, we're going to take it if it's going to help the community. That's the other important thing about us, is that when we need help, we take it. We're not too big to say, you know what, we got this covered. We're not like a lot of other organizations are like, listen, we only provide this lane. No, we provide any lane that the person needs. I don't care if it's food. I don't care if it's bus tickets. I don't care if it's deodorant. We go out and find it. My personal experience, I am a doctor, Dr. Deborah Mason. My degree is in social science, so I understand sociology very, very well. But I was a probation officer for 10 years. And I've seen this city. I've seen the good parts of the city, and I've seen the bad parts of the city. But one thing I can tell you that's very true is that every person on probation just needed help. They may have been a perpetrator, but oftentimes victims become perpetrators and perpetrators become victims. They all need help. I don't care what you've done. I don't care how bad your crime was. If we can help you, we're going to help you. So as a probation officer, I would often see moms who were on probation for stealing food, for stealing Pampers. If you ever go into a community, into a grocery store and you see the formula is locked up, that's why. Because moms were stealing it for their children. So now they lock it up. So with that being said, what we do is we provide those resources so an individual doesn't have to go and get involved in the criminal justice system. We try to intervene before it gets there. We try to provide the basic resources that an individual needs so they don't end up on probation, that they don't end up, in the police department or having to deal with other situations that lead. Once you get into the system, it's very hard to get out. So our goal is to help people not get there at all. But I just want to say that we are always open to any ideas. We appreciate the support from City Council. Shané, Darby, we love you, Councilwoman Darby. We appreciate all that support, but we're out there. We were out there when the individual was shot on recently in your district. We're trying to go over there and do some resources. We did a walk over there recently. We did a walk after the situation with the 19-year-old, the 9-year-old, and the 21-year-old. We did do a walk after that. After every major event like that, we are out there in the streets. But we just look like regular citizens. We're out there. Our team is in their regular clothes. Like I said, we don't want to be out there promoting us or whatever it is, because oftentimes what happens is that individuals, when they see you in a bright yellow shirt, they're less likely to walk up to you, and they don't really want to see you, have a picture with you or anything like that. So we try to grab people from the community to do the work. So I just want to say thank you for this opportunity, and again, give a shout out to my team, because this is not a Dr. Deborah Mason show. This is a Wilmington Street Team show, and we are out there doing the work every single day. Network Connect, Center for Structural Equity, they're doing an amazing job. So they deserve all the accolades when it comes down to this work. So thank you.
Have you heard back from Mayor Carney about the funding and make sure that you guys continue to operate and do the amazing work that you do in our community?
No, I know that in our budget, and that's the clear way of understanding what someone supports, there hasn't been any money towards supporting the program. Correct. So imagine a city where we had a community resource hub in every district. We had a Wilmington Street Team responding to all the shootings in our district, being able to provide mental health services, support, so the preventative and intervention work is important that CPSI is doing. And I'm hoping that with the support of City Council and the administration that we can have a codified, meaning it is in the code, it is permanent, and then a funded. And I'm not even looking for okay, if it costs $5 million, let's give them $5 million today. But how do we get there, right? The conversation can't be there's no money in the budget. The conversation has to be, okay, we can start with this. And then what does it look like? And what is the plan for us to get to whatever that number is so that the whole city has a CPSI, which hopefully Office of Violence Prevention it would be, right? That we can grow to that point. Yes, you have a question.
Do we have a reason why other city council members, the mayor, and the police chief is not present here today?
I am not sure, but I text all of my 12 city council colleagues. They all got the email and calendar invite. I also know it was last minute. So everyone has been invited, so a calendar invite went out. I text everyone the flyer. Some of them did respond and letting them know that they are invited to come here, but I can't speak to specifically why. I do know it was emergency last minute, and I know a lot of us have full-time jobs on city council, so I had to maneuver and change a lot of things around because this was important to me and a priority, but I'm not sure exactly why. And I invited also Mayor Carney, and I also invited Chief Campos, and they told me before I came here that he was canceled to come here, so I don't know. But we do have our council president, Ernest Trippy Congo, so I do want him to come up and speak and to hear what he has to say about gun violence in the city.
We love y'all too. I guess I just have to start off by, again, just thanking Councilwoman Darby just for always advocating for the community and oftentimes saying what no one else wants to say or will say. And she never shies away from just always doing the right thing and saying what needs to be said. So again, thank you, Councilwoman Darby, for your work on council, off of council. You're amazing. I've heard so much today, and it's really hard to understand or comprehend what we need to be doing as a government, as a city council, and as just people who love other people. And I'm up here. I am council president, and I do need to be a part of legislation. I would love to be a co-sponsor, but to me that's the easy part. I guess it's easy to go and vote for what is right. Even though we always don't get it right, and some people do have some hesitation about that, but that's easy. But I think the biggest challenge I heard up here today was from Ms. Jackie when she said that Wilmington needs our men to show up. And when I take a look at myself, I have to be honest and say I haven't always showed up like I should have and like I can, and I haven't always brought people together like the way that I think I'm able to do. So I thank you for your challenge, and I do accept it, and I will be more present. Sometimes we get caught up in life, and we just forget how just our presence can make such a difference. So again, thank you for allowing me to be here today. Thank you, Ms. Jackie, for your challenge. And for some reason, it's hard for us to understand how important it is just to fund some of the things that Councilwoman Darby was talking about today. And we always talk about how we can't afford it. But what we can't afford is to keep losing our children, to keep losing our young men and our young women, the ones who we lose physically and the ones who we lose spiritually and mentally. So we just have to find a way. And I think it is a part of our responsibility as council members, as a government, as a system, to make sure that we are providing funding and support for, just for our community. So much great work being done, so I never want to take away from that, but there's so much more that we have to do. We can't keep having these press conferences. At some point, we just have to understand how important we are as individuals, how important we are as a community, how important we are as a council. And I hope that my colleagues on council understand how important that we are and how powerful we can be. Sometimes we kind of get lost in people saying that we're just not as powerful as the mayor or as the governor, but we are. We are absolutely, I think, the most powerful entity in government, definitely in our city and across our state, because we can put whatever we want in the budget, and if we have enough support, it's going to pass. So I hope my colleagues understand how important it is that we revisit the budget, and we create ordinances to support exactly what Councilwoman Darby was talking about and exactly what Dr. Mason needs. There's no reason for us not, as small as Wilmington is, there's no reason for for us not to be citywide, for her group not to be citywide. And it's just not about those who are being paid. I'm also calling on the community to really step up and do what's right. You know, we're all from here. A lot of us were born and raised here. Some of us are transplant, but I think that we all have a vital role in just making sure that we just don't keep on having these press conferences, that we just don't keep on having to bury our babies and have our parents mourn their children. You know, it's supposed to be the other way around. So again, I just thank you, and I accept your challenge, and I hope that if we take anything from this, I hope that we take two things: that we understand on City Council how powerful we are, and that we understand as a community how powerful we are. And I think that once we both understand that, like, we can't just blame the community. The government can't always blame the community, and the community can't always blame the government. We have to figure out a way to understand how powerful we both are together. And I think once we do that, Wilmington will be a role model city for the entire country. Thank you so much.